On today's show,
Comeback complete. We discuss the Warriors' thrilling Game 7 victory to set up an NBA Finals rematch.
in the up-down report, should Draymond Green be suspended for his armbar gone wrong?
And we say goodbye to both conference finals losers, the Raptors and the Thunder.
It is Tuesday, May 31st. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast or joining us live on NBA TV or a little bit later on YouTube, we're very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
And then there were two guys at the desk.
Yes, Lily en route to Oakland for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, which starts Thursday. We'll hopefully hear from Lily on tomorrow's show and, of course, on Thursday before the big game. But last, certainly not least, over there, checking those tweets, Starters blog editor Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
TK, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters. And guys, after 217 days of basketball, the NBA Finals matchup is set. Warriors-Cavs tips off this Thursday in Oakland. And if there's one guy who's super excited about this matchup, it's got to be Anderson Varejao, because as it turns out, he's the first player in NBA history to play for both of the league's finalists in the same season. Shout out to ESPN Stats and Info for the tweet. And it turns out they're totally right, because here's Varejao playing for the Warriors this year, and here he is playing against the Warriors this very season. Pretty crazy. Don't know if it means he's going to get a ring for no matter who wins, but we'll see. And it brings us to today's question. What's another unexpected anomaly from this year's NBA Finals? For instance, did you know this is the first time two players who have tamed magical beasts will be meeting in the finals? It's true. Timofey Mozgov rode a bear through the streets of Cleveland, while Klay Thompson took a ride on a hippogriff at Harry Potter World. Don't be nervous, Klay. Fly free. We want to hear from you. Let us know on Twitter. What's another unexpected anomaly from this year's NBA Finals? Send us your best answers at #TheStarters. We'll hear from you a little bit later.
All right, get your tweets in. Guys, we've got the up-down report tonight, and we will officially say goodbye, as we do here on the starters, to both the Raptors as well as the Thunder. But first, let's talk about the Thunder a little bit more here. Another game, another Warriors comeback. Last night in Oakland, the Splash Brothers and friends overcame a 13-point Game 7 deficit to beat the Thunder 96-88. They head back to the NBA Finals. The Warriors just the 10th team in NBA history to rally from a 3-1 deficit and win the series. We'll talk about their finals rematch with LeBron over the next coming days, but we got to play a little fact or fiction about this Game 7 and in this series specifically. Trey's going to present us with a post-game comment from last night, and we're going to tell you if it's fact or fiction. So Trey, what's our first one here?
Our first quote comes to us from Kevin Durant, who broke down why he thinks the Thunder lost this series.
They beat us from the three-point line the last two games. We beat them everywhere else. They beat us from the three-point line. That was a series.
So according to Kevin Durant, the Thunder lost the conference finals because of the three-point line. Is this fact or fiction, my friends?
It's fiction. I wish everything was this cut and dry. That's a part of it. It definitely is a part of it.
A big part of it, Tass.
Yeah, but if that's it, if that's a fact, then why did the Warriors win Game 5 when they hit less threes? Why did they lose Games 1 and Games 3 when they hit more threes? If Kevin Durant's team won everywhere else. It just doesn't work out that way. It's not that cut and dry. I think Kevin Durant was a little bit upset with Andre Robertson towards the end of that game from the three-point line, a three-point shooter on his team that didn't want to shoot the ball at all.
He's not a three-point shooter, though. That's the problem.
It doesn't matter. You're the shooting guard. You're on the floor.
Yeah.
You shoot the ball. I mean, that's how Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook get points, because you have to shoot the ball. They lost this game because they had a 12-point third quarter. You can't win on the road having a 12-point third quarter.
That was huge.
And Game 6 was a terrible fourth quarter as well when they get outscored 33-18. That's why they lost those two games. Of course it's a part of it. The three-point line is a part of it, and Steph and Klay. I don't think we really respect what Klay did in Game 6 to a point, because no one has ever done that in any playoff game ever.
Yeah, I actually think this is a fact, and you bring up some great points there. I mean, you're going through the series sort of game by game, but in Game 6 and 7, they're down 3-2 in this scenario, and they shot, the Warriors, 38% from inside the arc compared to 46% from outside the arc. I can't remember ever watching a game, both in Game 6, but even more in Game 7, I thought, where I was watching the team going, what are you doing? Don't attack. Don't go inside. Just shoot a three. It's your best offense. And it proved to be true because they employ two of the greatest shooters we've ever seen in NBA history, hands down, Klay and Steph. They're on the short list already. It doesn't matter. And so I think it is a fact because it's unbelievable how many threes they hit in these final two games. 21 in Game 6, 17 in Game 7. It's nuts.
I think Steph Curry's two-point shot at the end of the first half was probably his most important shot of the game, though. When he drove in with that lefty and threw it up left-handed and went in, and they said, you can't close out the quarter like that in our barn. We're going to storm out in the second half. What they're doing is amazing.
Can we take a second just to comment on how thrilling this series was for a second? Because we
underappreciate it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you got the two reigning MVPs, of course, Curry back-to-back, but Durant before that. You got 5 All-NBA guys. You got the whole drama of Draymond's kick in this whole thing. You got the drama of Steph Curry coming back from injury and him starting to find his way as the series went on. You got them going small at times. You got them going big at times. The coaching was great. Role players stepping up. This had a bit of everything. And we had a 73-win team, down 3-1, come back and win the series. It was amazing. And Game 7, I was wrong. We were talking with Bones on Monday's show. We thought, I don't think it can be any better than Game 6. And I'm not sure it was, but it was pretty close. Game 7. It was that entertaining. But anyway, so we sort of agree. KD and the Thunder, you got to give them all the credit in the world. They defended a lot of those shots, those three-point shots. Yeah. But Curry and Clay are just that nuts.
It's just a nice little blanket statement to throw out there. I wish life was that black and white. It's not.
But they beat them in the turnover percentage, the rebounding, getting to the free throw rate. They did everything else you usually do to win basketball games, except that team just hit a whole lot of threes on you. And that's what. All right, Trey, next one here.
All right, sticking with Kevin Durant, KD finally gave us some insight into his free agency process.
We just lost like 30 minutes ago. So I haven't even thought about it. I'm just, embracing my teammates, and just reflecting on the season. I think about that stuff. I don't know when, but we just lost an hour ago, 30 minutes ago, so I don't know.
According to Kevin Durant, he hasn't thought about free agency for even a second. Is this fact or fiction?
Before I make my choice, I want to know what constitutes a thought about free agency. Let's say Wanda calls, Kevin's mother.
Yep.
Yeah, she calls and says, have you ever thought about playing somewhere else? And he thinks about it for half a second. Is that a thought?
That counts.
It does, huh? Okay.
I think so. That's why it's fiction to me.
Yeah,
it's a diplomatic answer, a very diplomatic answer. And the question had to be asked, so you knew they were going to ask it in the media, and I thought he handled it pretty well. But he's definitely thought about this.
Of course, at least for a second, right?
Sure.
Has he thought, I'm going to get a call on July 1st from a team other than the Thunder? Is that thinking about it? Because he's thought that, right? He's going to know where he is at 12:01 a.m. on July 1st. I know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be watching NBA TV because something's going to be happening.
Right.
Someone's going to call Wanda. Someone's going to call the agent. They're going to be all over him. He's had to think about it a bit. But I do believe him that he hasn't delved into it.
Sure.
That he doesn't actually know where he's going to go. And I'm sure Sam Presti and Russell Westbrook and the entire organization are a little bit worried. They have to be a touch worried.
I think what's interesting to me, and we've already talked about whether or not we think Durant will stay, and correct me if I'm wrong, we all are sort of on board that we do think he'll probably stay, and he might even sign like a short LeBron-like contract, the 1-and-1, and that's for a number of reasons. Financially, it's smart for a couple reasons. The cap's only going to go up, and so if you opt out after that first year, he would also be a 10-plus seasons played type of vet guy. You get even higher percentage. So it's money, it would make sense. And then Westbrook, Ibaka, you're sort of waiting to see what they would do in the summer of 2017. But anyway, I think he will stay, but I'm interested to see if he goes out there and wants to be courted by other teams, right?
Yeah.
Will he do that whole okay, the Heat want me. Oh, let me go talk to Pat Riley.
Hey, it's nice to be courted.
Oh, the Warriors want me. Oh, they may have just won back-to-back. Maybe I'll go talk to them. Will he do that song and dance? Or will he just say, you know what, look how great this team is. Look how young this team is. We got a first-year coach. We got better. I'm just sticking with the Thunder, if it's a short-term deal or even a long-term deal.
I would suspect he does get courted and allows that to happen.
He's going to get courted. Do you think he'll go do it?
Well, allows it, yeah, because even the best of the best, the guys who stuck with one team their entire career, Tim Duncan.
Right.
He did it after that first contract.
Right.
He thought about it. He did think about it, just a touch.
Right.
Yeah. I do think it's a possibility that he does get courted. I don't think he's going to go. I don't think he's going to go
I love
because
saying courted.
Yeah, it's a great word. It sounds so
it's
regal.
Like they throw flowers at his feet. That's sort of what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think he goes because he typifies the traditional old school guy, right? The guy who says, I'm going to play with one team my entire career. We don't know the relationships he has within that locker room. He sure seems like he loves everybody
Sure,
in there
yeah.
and that he will stay. Who knows?
It sure helps that his team beat a 67-win team and nearly took out a 73-win team.
You'd think so,
I
yeah.
think that would help. All right, final one here, Trey.
Our final quote comes from Steve Kerr, who explained why people question Stephen Curry's toughness.
Why do these questions keep being raised about Steph's toughness?
Because he looks like he's 12.
That's right. Steph Curry's coach thinks people question his star player because he looks like a 12-year-old boy. Is this fact or fiction?
It's fiction. He looks 15.
He looks 15.
At least. At least 15.
I do agree that's a fact, though, because he doesn't look
Yeah.
the part. I mean, we were sitting up in our office months ago, I remember, and there was a shot of Steph looking quite boyish. He looked like he was, between 12 and 15, and someone in the office said, this is the best player in the NBA.
Right.
He doesn't look
Right.
like the best player in the NBA, what we know as the best player in the NBA, and he doesn't get the reputation as being tough, which is bogus. It's entirely bogus. He goes diving into the court. He fights among the big men when he needs to. Yes, he's a tiny bit slighter than other guys. He doesn't have a huge build. And a part of it comes from the fact that he shoots three-pointers. And
Yeah.
we don't associate a guy who's tough with a guy who shoots threes. Also, just one more fact here. The guy deadlifts, the trap deadlift it's called,
Yeah.
400 pounds, double his weight.
What do you do?
Apparently last year, it was reported, James Herbert reported this, Festus Ezeli was the only guy on that team who deadlifted more than that.
All right, so he's tough.
Hey, man, I
he's
deadlifted
strong.
315 in high school. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I was getting it.
Yeah, nice. I think this is what, like, him looking so young is what makes him so likable, especially to kids and maybe even the average fan as well, right? It's to me, it's sort of the same makeup of what made Allen Iverson sort of a transcendent star. It's like, wow, this guy's quite small looking compared to all these giants, and he's still leading the league in scoring,
relatable,
and he's
for
still
sure.
dominating, and it's a little bit more relatable. But yeah, you look 15 at least, not 12. Come on, Steve. All right, fact or fiction, good stuff. Trey, we gotta take a break. When we return, we'll run a 3-man edition of the Up-Down Report. We're gonna run the weave, guys? What are we running?
What are we running here?
Including our thoughts on whether Green will dodge suspension again. Back with the starters, right into the Up-Down Report, where we figure out where we stand on some recent NBA topics. Yeah, that's a nice, just cool ISO of Trey Kirby. He's over here at the desk. No Lely, so we'll do a 3-man Up-Down Report. Thumbs up or down, by the way, on Twitter. Hashtag the starters, let us know. All right, first one, guys. Late in the second quarter of Game 7, Draymond Green, Steven Adams once again tangled in the paint, this time fighting for rebounding position. And down they go. And at first looked, it appeared as though the Kiwi got revenge on Draymond for the kick felt round the world, but upon closer inspection, it appeared that Green hooked Adams' arm before DDTing himself into the floor. Now, the NBA plans to review this incident, and if the league determines that that hook was unnecessary and/or excessive, Green could receive a retroactive flagrant foul, which would get his flagrant foul points up to enough to be suspended for Game 1. That was a long way of asking you guys, are you up or down on the NBA upgrading Draymond's self-inflicted DDT takedown? What do you think?
So if you call it a flagrant, it's not just a suspension, it's calling it a flagrant, right?
Right.
So
Ooh,
I-
I'm down. I'm down.
it doesn't really fit. When you look at a play like that,
Yeah.
you don't think of it as excessive. It just doesn't get called.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it is.
Both
But it
guys
does
got
fit the
called
definition
for
of
a foul.
excessive.
Both guys got called for a foul,
Yeah.
so I don't see how you can say one guy is flagrant about it, one guy isn't, especially when the guy who would be getting a flagrant got his head landed on by a 260-pound man.
Well,
that was
Steven
what-
Adams did nothing.
Yeah, that was a horrible double foul call.
Right.
They went and reviewed that, and that's the decision they came to. That was just a classic, like,
Hey, he was
I don't
grabbing
know.
arms too. He was
You
grabbing
think?
arms once his arm got grabbed. Personally, Draymond put himself in this position, getting all the flagrant foul points from the playoffs, but I don't want something that's not in the finals affecting the outcome of the finals. So that's why I don't think they're going to upgrade
Right.
this, because we need to see Draymond Green on the court for the finals.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't want to see him suspended. That being said, he's towing the line. Game in and game out. Forget the kick to the Kiwis. After that, I mean, it's excessive kicking.
Yeah.
And now this. I just feel like at some point the reputation is going to kick in.
Definitely.
kick in.
Yeah,
no
I was
pun
going to say,
intended.
no pun intended or
That's-
pun intended?
No,
Wow,
not
kick
this
in,
situation.
toe the line. What are you getting at?
Yeah,
here?
this is why I'm down. If they didn't suspend the guy for kicking a guy in the groin, then I can't imagine two guys getting tangled in the paint and sort of falling to the floor is
That
going to get them
happens.
suspended. That happens, yeah, that's
Kelly
true.
Olynyk last year got suspended for pulling on Kevin Love's arm, but that, like you're saying, was kind of out in the open, not in the middle
That
of
was
the
chasing
traffic in the
down
paint.
sort of
Yeah.
a loose ball, yeah.
And there was a huge injury that was caused.
Also true.
That plays a huge factor.
All right, moving on. Let's hear from you guys, as I said on Twitter. Next one here, it's pretty straightforward, this next topic. Do you like cool hats? That's
Yes.
what I'm asking you. You know, again, once we saw, we're like the fashion police here. Who's Melissa Rivers? I'll be Juliana. Yeah, we got these finals hats here. Big old F. We saw them on the
It
Cavs.
sounds like you're down.
We saw them on the Warriors. There it is. There's a good look. What do you guys think? Are you up or down on the new 2016 NBA Finals hats?
I don't know. 13-year-old me gets excited about the design being carried over from the top
Yeah.
to the bill.
Oh, really?
Multiple angles.
Yeah, I just love it. I just love it.
I'm down for a couple reasons. One, we all know I look stupid in a hat because I got I got like a Lego-sized head, so any hat looks dumb on me. But these hats basically say, F the Cavs and F the Warriors.
Oh, come on. That's a beautiful F.
That's what it says. That's a little strange.
Yeah, it's a beautiful script. I think it's kind of subtle. Gray looks good with everything.
Subtle, it's a giant F.
Yeah, but that's one of the most subtle letters, you know?
It's just like 3 lines. One,
Okay,
two,
you
three.
guys are up on it.
You can wear it.
I can't
Sort of
wear that. I'm drowned.
rebelliously.
Yeah.
F hats, because you hate hats.
Good point. That's not a bad point. All right, final one. We're sticking with this series here, guys. Last night, Pistons point guard Reggie Jackson's simple tweet set the internet on fire. You see it there. Minutes after Golden State defeated his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Jackson tweeted a smirking emoji. The Thunder, of course, they blew the 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. Are you guys up or down on Reggie Jackson's not-so-sly OKC subtweet? That's the definition of a subtweet. Are you thumbs up or are you thumbs down?
Smirky Jackson.
Smirky.
I'm kind of down.
You guys
on
are
it.
down.
He just can't stop chatting. Yeah. I mean, I understand he may have not had a great relationship with Russell Westbrook. That's 100% clear.
Right.
It's just a little bitter at this point. I mean,
Oh, it's
what is
definitely
the
bitter.
point?
That's why I love it. I mean, he's at least doubling down on his hatred for this team. Because remember, they played back in late March, I guess it was.
Oh, yeah.
Pistons playing well, and you had Reggie going egging on the Palace, and the Thunder, they did not like it. I mean, Steven Adams had words for him. Russell Westbrook had words for him. Yeah, there he is.
He was enjoying it, that's for sure.
I mean, I love that he's angry. He's angry over the divorce that he got traded back in 2015, and he's again doubling down on it.
Yeah,
Love
but
it.
his team got swept in the first round. His old team almost beat a 73-win team and almost advanced to the finals. They had a better season with him gone, so I think that they could just retweet that and say, ha-ha face.
Yeah, go with the ha-ha face.
Him and Russell are pretty similar when you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why the opposites attract in a weird way. I love it. I love you. Gotta.
Hey, there's no
have some
problem
beef.
with beefs. I like
Yeah.
beefs, but not the time for the tweet. A little petty in my book.
We couldn't agree on it, and then we wouldn't have a beef.
All right. Well, let us know, guys. What do you think of Reggie Jackson's subtweet, those big old hats, and Draymond's armbar? We gotta take a break. When we come back, a tearful goodbye to a few conference finals losers. So that's to be said. Welcome back to the show. We asked you earlier, what's another unexpected anomaly from this year's NBA Finals? Trey, you have a few of the best tweets. What do you got?
Yeah, this one comes from Jonathan Brown, who says, this is the first time both finals teams have a coach they didn't start the year with. Pretty impressive. John Goldsmith says, an Australian is going to get a ring for the 3rd year in a row. Patty Mills, Bogut, and then either Delly or Bogut this year. And, of course, Lee is there, so you never know what's going to happen.
Lee might play.
Yeah, Dan Grant says, if the Warriors win, Kerr joins Robert Horry and Phil Jackson as the only guy to win multiple titles with 3 franchises. Not bad. Alfredo Rodriguez, an all-time fan, says, Luke Walton versus Tyronn Lue. Former Lakers, different times, same coach in Phil Jackson. But the best answer comes from Fanlord, who says, Ian Clark and Richard Jefferson went to the same preschool. Interesting. I don't know if that's true,
Yeah, should we fact check
but
that?
I'm happy to believe it's true.
Okay. Well, keep your tweets coming, guys. All right, Golden State's Game 7 win last night. It now sets up what should be another blockbuster NBA Finals. The rematch is on with the Cavs, and this time both sides are lock, stock, and barrel. The 6 games of the 2015 finals, they averaged nearly 20 million viewers. That was making it the most watched finals since '98 when Jordan's Bulls defeated the Jazz. I'd guess it'll be even higher this year with these two teams going at it again. We'll see if Golden State finishes off its historical season the right way, or if LeBron can, bring a title to the city of Cleveland for the first time in a very long time. You see the NBA Finals schedule there. We've got all the time in the world to preview and predict this series, which we'll actually start doing on tomorrow's show. But right now, we need to officially say goodbye to a few of our deceased conference finalists. To the cemetery we go once more. Now a few words about our 2 conference finals losers, Raptors and the Thunder. We, the North, had come so far, we thought there was a chance.
In OKC, we charged ahead and prayed that we'd advance.
But in our way, there stood a man, a king we could not slay.
We thought Stephen of House Curry this time would not win the day.
Our men fought hard and made Drake proud. Park Jurassic, it would not yield.
The Warriors struck between our legs where our armor doth not shield.
So though the North is frozen, inside our hearts will burn.
As we in Oklahoma pray that Kevin shall return.
Back with the starters, Lee is on his way to the Bay Area, so Trey Kirby filling in with the very solid play. TK.
Yeah, we're going back to the Oracle, and the Thunder might not have made it to the finals, but they're still going out on top with a simple tic-tac-toe, very solid play. Waiters finds Durant, who finds Kanter, who finishes with a layup. I would have liked it if he'd gone glass, but that's what I call a very solid play.
Very solidly done. Now it's time for the highlight that wasn't. Obviously going back to the Oracle, and we're going back to Stephen Curry. There could have been many selections from this game, but I think this guy had a quiet 36, if that is a thing. He gets Andre Robertson rocking, and he misses the shot. The place wants to explode when Robertson hits the deck. He literally had a quiet 36. That's how good that man is.
Yeah, you had a lot to pick from. You're absolutely right. We got one fan sign here, guys. I'll take over for Lily in this case as well. Joseph and his friends up in the 6. This was, of course, before Game 6, Raps and Cavs on Friday night. There they are in front of the cool Toronto Raptors mural with the sign. Great sign. Guys, thank you so much. Game 1 of the NBA Finals starts this Thursday. We'll start talking about it on tomorrow's show, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Can't wait. Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, Elton John lives in Atlanta. Sometimes.
Brace the night, people.